Chat, how are we doing? We are here for episode 27 of TNC. It's been a minute since we've been able to do these live. I went on vacation, had to pre-record 2 episodes. That was fun. Last time we were live was not fun with all the crashing. Hopefully, that stays in the past with Vice City Bash. But nonetheless, we are here for episode 27. We have a lot to go over, including what happened at Serving Cunt this past Wednesday on BCW. There was a lot that went down on that show. Like, where do we even begin? Nico Chambers is now a double champion. Zyler Glass is no longer a part of BCW. He's a TNC exclusive. Olivia Harnage is the BCW world champion. Isaac Graves got screwed out of the RHW Memorial Championship by Adam Ace. Zach Morningstar is still the RHW Memorial Champion. And I believe the Moveset men retain the gay tag team titles, if I'm remembering correctly. And I think that was everything. I think I covered everything from that show. But that was this Wednesday. Today is Saturday. We all know what Saturday means. It's time to get into some TNC action. And we are kicking things off in the parking lot. Adam Ace going right back after Isaac Graves after what went down this past Wednesday at Serving Cunt. Ace grabbing the steel chair, clocking Isaac Graves in the back of the head, and now into the torso of Graves. And again to the skull. Isaac Graves supposed to be in our main event, but Adam Ace seemingly having other plans, continuing the beatdown with the steel chair. And Adam Ace just laid out Isaac Graves in the parking lot. Hopefully we'll have an update soon on the condition of Isaac Graves, and hopefully he'll still be ready to go for the main event tonight. If not, we totally understand, but we know how much of a fighter Isaac Graves is. But now we move on to our opening contest. Aiden Kennedy looking for another shot at that RHW Memorial Championship. Trevor Story. Yeah. Doing this in front of Russ and Jameis is kind of on the nose, isn't it? Kennedy has had opportunity after opportunity at that RHW Memorial Championship, was part of the first ever match for that title, but fell short of becoming the inaugural champion, getting pinned by an injured Kent Killstrom, who had to immediately vacate due to a torn meniscus. And now these two will go one-on-one again here tonight. And it's very possible that both of these men could be challenging Zach Morningstar next week if the CEO likes what he sees out of both of these men in this match. And as for Kent Killstrom, said knee injury could not have come at a worse time for him, because he had been on a complete downward spiral before getting the opportunity for that RHW Memorial title. He was finally able to capitalize on that opportunity, and that knee injury sidelined him for 2 months. He had to vacate the belt, and it's kind of been deja vu all over again for Kent. Went after Brent in his return, broke the hand of Owen King, stole his spot in the main event, put on a fantastic ladder match, but fell short in back-to-back weeks against Pete Brents for that world title. And Kent still yet to get back in the win column following his return from that meniscus injury. Can't believe he was allowed a rematch. Well, Brent's offered it. That was his decision, not mine. But here we go. The bell is rung and we are underway in our opener. Big forearm out the gate by Kent, and now these two will lock up. Kent quickly turning it into a headlock here. Trying to keep the pace down to start this off. Trying to keep Aiden Kennedy grounded for as long as he can. Turning that waistlock around into one of his own. But Kennedy able to get this one to the mat with the advantage over Kent. Starting to wrench at the neck. Kent able to get back up to his feet, but Kennedy still has that headlock locked in. And now going to send Kennedy off the ropes, ducking under, and again ducking under. Big clothesline by Kent. And there's a right hand to the gut by Kennedy. And there's the sling blade rolling through into the drop kick. And now the moonsault by Kennedy into the cover. One, and a kick out. Kennedy with the definitive upper hand through the first 90 seconds of this match. Trying to maintain that upper hand for as long as he can. And again, immediately going back after that arm. And Kent gonna roll to the outside for a quick breather. Now back in the ring. Kennedy there to meet him and gonna attempt to drag him towards the ropes, but Kent able to get those elbows into the gut. And now these two will lock up once again. Kennedy able to just shove Kent away. Now rolling through into that stomp. And the assassin up to the top rope. Tightrope walking into the elbow drop. And now sizing him up from the corner. Nobody home on that basement drop kick. Killstrom back to his feet. Lands the drop kick of his own. And now Kent to the apron. But has second thoughts as Kennedy quickly to his feet. Kent gonna whip him off the ropes. Kent ducking under. And hitting that power slam. And now Kent has the armbar locked in the middle of the ring. But the assassin quickly able to fight his way out of it. And now Kennedy possibly looking for that dragonfly cutter. And he connects with it. Quickly into the cover on that injured knee. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And now Kennedy may be thinking Black Bullet to put this away. Can he hit it? Black Bullet! Cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2.5 by Kent. Kennedy's still pretty fresh. 4 minutes in here. Kent has not been able to get out of the gates. Maybe those elbows will be the start of something. Whipping Kennedy off the ropes. And now Kent hoisting Kennedy up high. Hitting the attitude adjustment. And now dragging Kennedy to his feet. Into the corner, face first off the turnbuckle. Kennedy with an elbow. And now a kick to the back. And Kennedy sizing up Kent here. Knee strike into the neck breaker. Kennedy again can't drag Kent. And a big lariat there by the last bandit. Into the cover on Kennedy. 1 and a kick out. And now Kennedy getting hoisted up for the burning hammer. And just like that, Ken Killstrom could be closing in on a victory. 1, 2, and a kick out. Off the ropes again goes Kennedy. Kent swinging neck breaker. Cover again on the assassin. 1, 2, and another kick out at 2. Sling blade by Kennedy. And now the handspring, but nobody home on that kick. Now Ken trying to drag Kennedy, but Kennedy gets those elbows in. Kennedy maybe thinking powerbomb, but Kent able to get those rights in. And now Kent with another swinging neck breaker. And both men are down. But it's Killstrom up to his feet first. On the apron. Kent through the middle rope, landing another neck breaker. And now up to the top rope. Kennedy to his feet again. Lands the DDT from the top. Big forearm there. And now the suplex by Killstrom. And that suplex must have taken a lot out of Ken. Took longer than usual to get back to his feet there. And now Kennedy whipped into the ropes. Slam by Kent. And he'll make his way up to the top once again. Again waiting for Kennedy to reach his feet. And went for the stomp off the top, but nobody home. Kennedy looking to capitalize with a backstabber. And now aiding Kennedy, maybe thinking KBD. And he connects! Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. A fantastic opening match between Ken Killstrom and Aiden Kennedy. Certainly gonna give the CEO a lot to think about regarding next week's RHW Memorial title match. Will it be Aiden Kennedy challenging? Will it be Ken Killstrom challenging? Or will it be both challenging Zach Morningstar? We'll have to wait and find out for the card drop on Wednesday, as it certainly is not going to be an easy decision for the CEO in regards to who gets placed into that matchup. Both men certainly deserving of being in that match. Kennedy getting the win here tonight. Killstrom never having actually received his rematch for the belt. But tonight, it's Aiden Kennedy who comes out on top. Ken Killstrom still searching for more answers. Coming off their win in the mixed tag last week, Nico Chambers and Luna Lovewell are going to go one-on-one here tonight. Last week being Nico Chambers' first win as a member of the BHS. And speaking of the BHS, we do have an update on the condition of Cole Crimson. We're told that he has been released from the hospital following the attack by the corporation a few weeks ago. He's back home in Boston recovering, and he should be cleared in time for Full Speed Ahead. So some good news regarding the health of Cole Crimson, and we will almost certainly see him back in 2 weeks' time for that mixed tag match. Awful news. Luna Lovewell looking for a little bit of redemption for the corporation after last week. Nico Chambers able to get the pin on Lovewell in that mixed tag match. Luna Lovewell really not been able to garner any momentum here in TNC. Looking to turn her fortunes around here tonight with what will be a big win over Nico Chambers. More injury news. We still have not heard anything about the condition of Darius Praise, assuming he will not be able to return in time for Full Speed Ahead, which would put Alex Cruz in line to compete in that mixed tag match. But here we go. Nico Chambers, Luna Lovewell. Lovewell with that wrist lock in the middle of the ring. Keeping the pressure applied. But Nico Chambers quickly able to turn this one around. But now again, it's Lovell able to turn it around into a waistlock, starting to ragdoll Chambers around here. But Lovell getting this one to the ground. That side headlock. And starting to wrench at the neck of Chambers. Chambers able to separate and hitting a spear. Kicks to the back and now the face. Maintaining control of that right arm. Now going after the fingers on the left hand. And finishing it off with double knees to the back. And now Chambers went for the lion salt, but Lovell already to her feet. And now Lovell gonna take advantage. Stomping at the back of Nico Chambers. And now just tossing her across the ring. And now these two women locking up once again here. And it's Lovell able to overpower Chambers. And they'll lock up for a third time. And again, it's Lovell who's able to come up with the power advantage. And there's a right hand by Lovell. Now into the corner with speed, countered into a DDT by Chambers. Now Lovell ripping Chambers into the ropes. Lovell waiting for Chambers to reach her feet. And totally missing on whatever she was going for. And Nico Chambers looking to take advantage. And now Chambers hammering away. And now this time able to hit the lion salt. Chambers once again going after the fingers. And you're going to finish it off again with double knees to the back. Another boot there by Chambers. As she has been in complete control throughout this entire match. Now Chambers over the top, nobody home. Not able to get the distance she needed. And now Chambers with the women's right. Dragging Lovell back to her feet. And now over towards the corner. Face first off the turnbuckle goes Lovell. And now Nico Chambers up to the top rope. Waiting for Lovell to reach her feet. And hitting the Eclipse off the top rope. And now starting to jaw with Miguel. What, 5 seconds? But anyway, Miguel Tigre jawing with Nico Chambers from the outside. Trying to buy Luna Lovell some time. But it doesn't look like that's going to work out for her. As Nico Chambers still very much in control here. Now off the ropes goes Chambers and a back body drop from Lovell. And now these two going to start trading blows. Blocked there by Chambers. And a right hand. Right hand by Lovell. Blocked by Lovell. She lands another right and another right. There's one from Nico. Another one by Lovell. Chambers asking for it. Blocks it. And hits 2 rights. And now they're swinging for the fences. And Luna Lovell coming out on top. And hitting the Riptide. Into the cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. And now both women spilling over to the outside. And a takedown by Luna Lovewell. Dragging Chambers back to her feet. And now back into the ring. Lovewell up to the top. Hitting the referee with the double axe handle. And now the clothesline to Chambers. And another clothesline to Chambers. And a third clothesline. And Chambers stumbling into the corner. Chambers able to get that knee up. And now off the ropes. Hitting the forearm. And now Nico Chambers maybe thinking Phoenix Splash, and she connects. Cover, 1. And a kick out at 1. The referee's count is too slow because she just got knocked up by Luna Lovewell. And now it's Luna Lovewell going up to the top rope. And missing the frog splash. Well, Lovewell with a roll up, trying to catch Chambers off guard. 2, and a kick out. And now stomping at the chest of Chambers. Luna Lovewell trying everything she can to put this matchup away. Holding Nico Chambers up there for a long time before dropping her for the suplex. And now Lovewell into the cover again. 1, 2, and a kick out again by Chambers. And now Chambers, sit out powerbomb. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Nico Chambers gets another win as a member of the VHS. We want refunds. Ladies and gentlemen, I am being told by the CEO that next week, Zyler Glass will be going one-on-one with Miguel Tigre ahead of their 6-person mixed tag match at Full Speed Ahead. Like, I'm getting to the point where I'm considering, like, just pre-recording everything. Because this is getting so annoying.
Here is your winner, Nick China.
I don't even know if I cut out during the announcement, so I'll say it again. Zyler Glass is going one-on-one with Miguel Tigre next week on the Go Home show for Full Speed Ahead. Straight from the CEO as of minutes ago. was very confused why the PHS were out here again and forgot what match was next. Yeah, having them back to back on the card probably wasn't my smartest idea, but fuck it. Jason Graves and Jake Phoenix, of course, back in tag team action here on TNC, going one-on-one with the Titans. Of course, no tag match, or no tag title match happening at full speed ahead with the 6-person mixed tag. So VHS are in need of some challengers for those tag titles. And we're going to see who steps up here between the Titans as well as Jason Graves and Jake Phoenix. Graves and Phoenix, of course, looking to get back into another title match as they had a challenge once before but were unsuccessful back at RHW Hydrolyzed.
And from Kissimmee, Florida, weighing in at 230 pounds, Jake
Jake Phoenix certainly desperate for a win, growing a little frustrated with the lack of success that he and Jason Graves have had in the tag division thus far. Reunited as a tag team shortly after the injury to Ken Killstrom. Both were feuding with Kent prior to that injury. Almost made it to the top of the tag division with him on the sideline. Now trying to make it back up there, and here we go. Jason Graves and Eli Titan starting this one off, and it's Graves getting the upper hand on Eli. But now Eli coming in with a big clothesline. And now Eli with a kick to the back. Now starting to wrench at the head and the neck of Jason Graves. And now Eli with the gut wrench to Jason Graves. And right now it is Eli in full control, but Graves able to turn it around. Boot to the torso of Eli. And now picking him back up to his feet here, landing the super kick. And now a tag into Braxton, who lands a drop kick right out of the gate. And Braxton up to the top rope here, landing the elbow drop across the ring. Now Jason Graves with a drop kick. And Graves sending Titan into the corner, and a double team coming here from Graves and Phoenix. Braxton off the ropes, the double shoulder block. And now Jake Phoenix over the top rope. Into the cover on Braxton. And a kick out of one. And there's another drop kick. And now Braxton Powering up Jake Phoenix with a power bomb. Phoenix quickly back up to his feet. Off the ropes. Hip toss there by Braxton. And now it's Braxton's turn to wrench at the neck of Jake Phoenix. And now Braxton looking for a tag. Eli going to come back into this match. And there's a monkey flip by Eli. As the Titans have been able to cut the ring in half, at least temporarily. Keeping Jake Phoenix away from his tag partner, but a big boot to Eli Titan gonna allow Jake Phoenix to get the tag. And in comes Jason Graves. Ducking the big lariat there from Eli. Now sending him off the ropes. Jumping over Eli. Big boot and Eli's busted open. And now another... Oh no, I thought he was going for that stomp to the gut, but dropping the leg into the groin. And now Jason Graves snapping the arm of Eli Titan. And now went for the moonsault, but nobody home. Drop kick connecting from Eli. And now it's Jason Graves whipped into the corner of the Titans. But an elbow there by Jason Graves. Gonna keep Braxton out of this match. But Graves able to counter there. And now it's Jason Graves up to the top rope. Maybe thinking spiral tap. And he connects. Dragging Eli to the middle of the ring. Into the cover. Immediately broken up by Braxton. And now Jason Graves thinking JG driver. And he connects. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Eli. And now Eli going to get whipped into the corner. Another double team coming here from Jason Graves and Jake Phoenix. Off the ropes. Double back body drop. Big kick to the gut there. Jake Phoenix up to the top rope. Went for the elbow drop, but nobody home. And that may have been their chance to put the Titans away. But now Eli getting the tag into the much fresher Braxton. A kick to the back of the head there to Jake Phoenix. And now Braxton powering Phoenix up for the sit-out powerbomb. And a tag back into Eli here. As Jake Phoenix still staggered outside the ring. And now Phoenix circling the outside. Now making his way back in. And Phoenix off the ropes. Eli ducking under, jumping over. Gets blocked by Jake Phoenix. And Phoenix landing that knee strike. No chance for a cover as that gets broken up by Braxton. And now Eli on the apron here. Dangerous territory for Eli. Back suplex onto the apron. Jake Phoenix continuing to dish out the punishment on the outside. Now just pulling at that shoulder. Phoenix back into the ring. And Jason Graves gonna toss Eli Titan back into the ring, into the waiting arms of his tag partner, looking for another knee strike. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. And a much more successful outing for Jake Phoenix and Jason Graves as they pick up the win over the Titans. And they could be one step closer to getting themselves another shot at the tag team titles. As for the Titans, we're going to have to see what the future holds for them. As they never really were able to get out of the gates in this match. It felt like from the jump, it was Graves and Phoenix in control. They were the ones who were able to pick up the victory with that knee strike by Jake Phoenix.
Here are your winners, Jason Graves and Jake
Definitely a well-earned victory this week for Jason Graves and Jake Phoenix. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving on to our next match. Kato Takahashi looking to move his way up the card, potentially get himself into that world title picture. But to do that, he's got to go up against one of the hottest wrestlers on the roster in King Zero, who's been virtually unstoppable ever since that four-way against Nico Fox, Matt Marco, and Sadistico. Kato, some think he had his 15 minutes of fame when he won the All-Star title at Vice City Bash, just to drop it the very next week to Seth Ross. And the Kato out to prove that title win was no fluke, and that he's able to do more. Much like Kato Takahashi, King Zero also looking to make his way up into that world title picture. Like I just mentioned, virtually unstoppable since his return definitely been making noise. And he's looking to do more of the same here tonight against Kato Takahashi. King Zero able to pick up the win in that four-way as well as against Ken Killstrom. Now stepping up against Kato Takahashi, who's definitely had his ups and downs of recent. We'll see if King Zero can continue his winning ways against one of the most recent All-Star champions. And here we go. Big clothesline out the gate by Kato. And raining down left hands on the first ever All-Star champion. And Kato Takahashi with a little bit of a mean streak in this match, talking some trash to King Zero. King Zero back to his feet, sat right back down with that forearm. Now going after the knee. And now these two will lock up in the middle of the ring. King Zero with that side headlock on Takahashi. But Takahashi sending him off the ropes, went for the dropkick. King Zero able to avoid it. But Takahashi with those punches to the gut. Another clothesline missed. Into Giri by King Zero there. And the senton there by King Zero. Flattening Kato Takahashi. And now the moonsault connecting. Into the cover. One. And a kick out. King Zero hitting the Claymore on to Kato Takahashi. And now hitting that rock bottom. Up to the top rope again. Hitting the frog splash. And after that flurry by Kato at the start, it has been all King Zero here, but a dropkick by Kato may turn the tides, as this match will go to the outside. King Zero splitting the legs of Kato there. And now stomping at the back, and now the face of Kato. Maintaining control of the arm. And now going up to the fingers. And now the double knees to the back. And now Kato tossed across the outside. King Zero up to the top rope here. Kato back to his feet. Too far for King Zero to make any sort of attempt. And now Kato back in the ring here. Rolling up King Zero, but he's in the ropes. Repeated boots there by Takahashi. And now Kato gonna drop King Zero face first on the turnbuckle. Into the cover he goes. And another kick out at one. And now these two going to start trading blows here. Kato getting a couple rights in. Block and another right. And a left chop. There's a right hand by King Zero. Another chop by Kato. Another one by King Zero. There's another by Kato. And Kato raking at the eyes. Off the ropes, King Zero goes into that wheelbarrow German. And Kato, powerbomb, rolling through, into the knee strike, busting King Zero open, into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by King Zero. Dragging King Zero back to his feet. But King Zero able to block, landing a clothesline and another clothesline. Catching the leg, sweeping out the other leg of Kato. And now King Zero into the cover. 1 and a kick out. King Zero with the roundhouse. Dragging Kato back to the middle of the ring. Going for another cover on Takahashi. 1, 2, and another kick out at 2. Kato sizing up King Zero from the corner. But King Zero with the boot to the gut and another. And the clothesline. And now maybe thinking King Cutter to put Kato away. No, gets countered into the power slam. And Kato went for that powerbomb and got countered by King Zero. And now King Zero to the second rope. Kato to his feet. Went for the cutter up the second, but Kato able to get out of the way. Another counter by King Zero. And now the roll up here by King Zero. 1, 2, 3. He got him. And King Zero's winning ways continue as he picks up yet another victory here on TNC. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just received an update on Isaac Graves. He will be competing in the main event tonight still. The main event will still be going on against Kez Phoenix. He will not be 100%, but Isaac Graves is adamant in competing in this match. Certainly, Adam Ace is going to have to explain why he's been going after Isaac Graves.
Here is your winner, King
But King Zero picking up yet another victory in what has been a dominant run thus far, as he looks to continue climbing the card and making his way into the world title scene, and potentially could be one of the first challengers of whoever walks out of Full Speed Ahead as the world champion. So as we all know, the winner of the Royal Rumble will challenge the world champion. But we do have a pay-per-view in between, that being Turning Point. And whoever walks out as champ will need a challenger for that show. And it most certainly could be King Zero. But now we turn our attention to our second women's match of the night, as Olivia Martinez and Sarah Lopez are going to go one-on-one. And much like the opener, both these women looking to put on good performances. and potentially get themselves a women's title shot next week against Kendall Hendricks. Martinez looking for her first shot at the TNC women's title. Has been on a roll in recent weeks. Looking to continue that here against Sarah Lopez.
And her opponent from Mexico City,
Sarah Lopez has certainly started to make a name for herself in the past month or so. Getting a win over Kendall Hendricks one-on-one really shot her up the card. And got her a world title, or a women's title match in a triple threat that also involved Nico Chambers, of which Kendall Hendricks retained. And now looking to get another shot at that title. Possibly a win could put her in position to do so. And here we go. Waistlock out the gate by Sarah Lopez. But Martinez able to turn it into a side headlock. Martinez continuing to apply that pressure, now turning it into a front chancery before the knee to the face and the lion salt, but nobody home on it. And now both women locking up again here. And Lopez able to power Martinez away. Now gonna whip Martinez into the corner. Martinez able to turn it around on Lopez though. Turning her around, shot to the back. And now tossing Sarah Lopez into the post. And now just driving her boots into the chest. And now the double knees to the chest. Now Olivia Martinez into the cover. Ref nowhere near in position to make the count. And it's a quick kick out by Lopez. Lopez back to her feet here. And these two women gonna go at it once again. Martinez able to overpower Lopez into the ropes. And the ref's gonna have to break it up. Springboard forearm there by Martinez. And now Martinez making her way up to the top rope, waiting for Lopez to reach her feet. Martinez with the double axe handle, no. Lopez able to counter, now sending Martinez off the ropes, ducking under, hitting the flapjack. And quickly to the apron. Martinez to her feet. And now the springboard drop kick by Sarah Lopez. Lopez wrenching at that knee. And now sending Olivia Martinez all the way to the outside over the top rope. Remember, if that happens in 2 weeks, and these two just so happen to be the final two, Sarah Lopez would be the winner of the Royal Rumble. As Lopez makes her way back into the ring. And now resetting the count. And now Lopez with a knee strike to Martinez. Lopez continuing the all-out assault. Now back into the ring. Lopez sizing up Martinez here. Off the second rope, off the top rope, hitting that cutter. And into the cover, Lopez goes. 1, 2, and a kick out by Martinez. Martinez struggling to get to her feet in the corner. And Sarah Lopez gets caught by Martinez. Martinez turning her around as the arm wrenched in the ropes. And now again tried to drive her boot into the chest, but Lopez caught her. And now Lopez maybe looking to finish this one off early. Looking to finish it off. Martinez able to get an elbow up. Hits the clothesline. Hits a second clothesline. Catching the leg. Sweeping out the other leg. Into the cover. Martinez goes. 1, 2, and a kick out. Big kick there by Lopez. Up to the top rope. Went for the elbow, nobody home. And now Martinez with a big right. And now Martinez maybe thinking one-winged angel. No, it hits the German instead. But Lopez able to catch Martinez. And now Martinez with a sling blade. And now maybe thinking one-winged angel. Martinez has Lopez up. One-winged angel. 1, 2, and a kick out by Lopez. Martinez, springboard forearm. And maybe thinking one-winged angel again. But no, Lopez able to counter. And the inverse DDT. Lopez into the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Sarah Lopez gets the victory over the red-hot Olivia Martinez. And once again, the CEO is going to have an interesting decision to make regarding who gets put into that women's title match next week. Both women definitely have the wins on their resume to garner a women's title shot. It's a very real possibility that we see 2 triple threat matches next week for the belts. But as for this week, it's Sarah Lopez who comes out on top over Olivia Martinez. Able to hit that inverse DDT, and that was all she wrote. Sarah Lopez continues to rack up big wins in her career. Looking for that one last win to top off an impressive run, which would be a championship win. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time, as Kez Phoenix will be taking on a less than 100% Isaac Graves. It's still very shocking to see that this is what has become of Kez Phoenix. Aligning himself with the likes of Peter Krill. But to his credit, it has gotten him a world title match at full speed ahead in 2 weeks. And this seems to be his warm-up match for that huge match for Kez. Of course, Kez with Peter Krill and Tyler Vincent by his side for this match. Though surely he won't be needing them at ringside, when his opponent is certainly less than 100%. Isaac Graves took a hell of a beating at the start of the show, courtesy of Adam Ace. But he is still here over an hour later, ready to compete in this main event. Because that's just the kind of wrestler that Isaac Graves is. Always ready to compete no matter what. Especially in a main event. But now he has to compete against the man who he teamed with back at War Games. But the circumstances between then and now have become so different. We'll see if this new attitude out of Kez Phoenix can get him a win over Isaac Graves here in the main event. Both men set to go here in the main event. And the bell is rung. Kez out the gates with another face buster. Much like Adam Ace at the start of the episode. And quickly going after the lower body of Isaac Graves. But Graves able to turn it around here on Kez. Stomping both knees into the mat. But Kez turning it right back around. Went for the cannonball, but Graves able to get out of the way. And now these two lock up right by the ropes. Graves turning it into a waist lock. Kez looking for a way out. Going after the grip of Isaac Graves. Able to break it. And now turning it into a side headlock. Almost looks like an Anaconda Vice. But that's not what he's got locked in. As he continues to wrench at the neck of Isaac Graves. And Graves' head and neck certainly took a beating in the parking lot, courtesy of Adam Ace. But Graves able to whip Kez off the ropes. Big shot to the gut there. And a big forearm by Isaac Graves. And now slamming the knee into the mat. And there's a knee shot to the gut of Kez Phoenix. And for the most part, that attack at the start of the show has not slowed Isaac Graves down at all. And Isaac Graves into the cover here. One, and a kick out. Big shin strike there by Graves. now just stomping at the chest of Kez. Isaac Graves trying to beat some sense into Kez Phoenix here. Now Graves off the second rope. Kez able to avoid that double axe handle. And now Kez off the ropes with the flatliner. And Kez with the knee strike to Graves. Kez with a shot to the back. Now off the ropes, Kez goes. Holds onto the ropes, sweeping the legs and the senton to Isaac Graves. And Kez quickly with the forearm busting Graves open. Kez with speed into the corner, clothesline, into the Bulldog. And now Kez into the Anaconda Vice quickly, middle of the ring. Isaac Graves has nowhere to go. He's got to fight his way out of this, and he does. And now these two going to start trading blows by that corner. Big right by Graves and a chop. Chop by Kez. Big right by Graves. Another chop by Kez. Chop is blocked by Kez. And now he starts coming in with another strike. Chop by Graves. Chop by Kez. Chop is blocked. Another right by Kez. Another chop. And now these two swinging for the fences. And it's Isaac Graves coming out on top, landing a clothesline. Second clothesline. Catching the leg of Kez, sweeping out the other. Into the cover on Kez. 1, 2, and a kick out. Graves on the apron now. Landing that kick over the top rope. And now Peter Krill jawing at Isaac Graves, buying Kez some time and able to distract Graves long enough for Kez to hit the Pele kick. And now Isaac Graves, Stormbreaker. And Graves may be closing in on a victory. Can he hit the Gravedigger? No! Kez able to counter into the clothesline. And now Kez from the top, frog splash, nobody home. Big knee strike to the gut. And now Graves stomping the back of Kez. And now Graves up to the top rope, waiting for Kez to reach his feet. Graves landing the kick. And now maybe looking for Gravedigger again. Can he hit it this time? Gravedigger! Graves gonna drag Kez to the middle of the ring to put this away. Can he do it? 1, 2, and Kez kicked out of the Gravedigger. Graves, right hand to Kez. And now the Lion Salt. Picking him back up. Blocked by Kez. May have been thinking Superman punch. That rolling forearm is blocked. Another block. Kez, backbreaker. And now dragging Isaac Graves to the middle of the ring. And now again, looking for the Anaconda Vice. Locked in the middle of the ring. Kez wrenching. Continuing to wrench. Isaac Graves has no choice but to tap out. And Kez Phoenix has all the momentum heading into full speed ahead in 2 weeks. Isaac Graves put up a valiant effort here in the main event, but he was just too compromised by that attack in the parking lot from Adam Ace. A fantastic main event regardless. But Kez Phoenix coming out on top here. And certainly Isaac Graves going to be looking for some revenge. No, you did not catch the main event. You caught the end of the main event. But yeah, that attack by Adam Ace certainly made the difference. It seemed like Isaac Graves had Kez beat. But that attack in the parking lot just took out too much. And Kez Phoenix comes out victorious to close out episode 27 of TNC. And that will do it for this week. We have one more show before Full Speed Ahead, where we will have our second ever Royal Rumble, our first ever Women's Royal Rumble. We'll have Kez challenging Pete Brents for the world title. Tyler Vincent will challenge Seth Ross for the All-Star title. And as long as Cole Crimson's health stays on track as we expect it to, we will have that 6-person mixed tag between the BHS and the Corporation. But that is all I've got for now, and we will see you for episode 28 of TNC. And make sure in just a few hours to check out Saturday night's Cunty event. It is sure to be a banger show once again. We will see you all next week.